Our top story. Hundreds of people have demonstrated outside an immigration office in Sheffield today in support of a man from Zimbabwe who's fighting to stay in the UK.
Victor Mujakachi arrived in Sheffield as an asylum seeker 10 years ago and volunteered for several charities in the city. He was taken into custody last week and threatened with deportation. He's been given a three-month reprieve but fears he'll be killed if he's sent back. Mark Ansell reports.
Victor belongs in Sheffield!
Victor belongs in Sheffield! Standing in solidarity with Victor and other Zimbabwean refugees threatened with deportation, they're calling on the UK government to suspend their removal in light of human rights abuses in the African country.
There are specific people who are being persecuted for what they believe in, who they are, and yes, the government will say it's safe, but we need to listen to the people who are running away. No one leaves their country for no reason. If they were born there, if they have safety, if they're being treated right, if they could live the way they live, they wouldn't leave.
Victor Mujakachi has been living in Sheffield for 10 years. He volunteers at several charities where he supports fellow asylum seekers. Zimbabwean authorities issued a warrant for his arrest in 2008 after he criticised the government online.
Here, I've got the platform to air my dissenting views, so I will stand out. If I go back to Zimbabwe, I will definitely feel threatened, I'll be mistreated, I'll be killed and given inhuman treatment.
Last week, Victor was held in an immigration detention centre for 5 days. After 75,000 people signed a petition, he was released and given a 3-month reprieve. The Home Office has been heavily criticised by charities as they're thought to be working with the Zimbabwean government, accelerating the deportation of asylum seekers despite human rights abuses in the country.
How do they determine that we are not at risk? That's the question. There is country guidance evidence. There's evidence actually of what is happening in Zimbabwe. It's a country that is literally on fire.
Meanwhile, Victor's time in the UK is far from guaranteed. A statement from the Home Office says we do not routinely comment on individual cases. The UK has a proud history of granting asylum to those who need our protection. All claims are considered on their individual merits and in line with the immigration rules. Now, Sarah Eldridge is from the City of Sanctuary, a charity which Victor volunteers at. Now, Sarah, we heard in that statement there that the UK grants asylum to those who need our protection. That means then that it's safe for Victor to go back to Zimbabwe, doesn't it?
Well, as you said earlier, Mark, we know that the Zimbabwean government doesn't like opposition. It's been cracking down quite violently against people who have spoken out against them. And Victor and other people in a similar situation to him have spoken out against the Zimbabwean government, and their lives are in danger.
Why do you think the UK government are sending people back to Zimbabwe?
Why indeed? Why would anyone dream of sending human beings back to that sort of danger? We do know that the British government is keen to reach trade deals with other countries around the world, including Zimbabwe. They've had talks not long ago with the Zimbabwean government about potential trade deals. And it would be interesting to know what deals the British government has made with the Zimbabwean government about returning asylum seekers.
Sarah, thank you very much indeed. Well, Victor will have to report to the building behind me at the Home Office in 3 months' time. His future in this city and in this country is very much hanging in the balance.
Mark, thank you.